Hello and welcome. This is Theresa. Thanks for visiting my channel today. Today's Saturday, and it's September 13th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I was playing and decided to turn the camera on. So this is what's on my desk. And there's a lot of other junk all over the place for me to play with. I've got little bits and pieces hanging out, and just planning to have a good time crafting. So right now I'm working on my cowboy ephemera, and excuse me, if you've seen my videos before, you know that I do enjoy making ephemera with this paper that I got from my sister in Texas, that are old cowboy song periodical magazine type papers. I think I hit every descriptive term I could for that, because I really don't know where she got them from or what the source of them are or anything like that. And naturally my glue is stopped up. So this is art glitter glue that I'm using. And the reason why I'm using this is because I want to have a sturdy bond, and I want the glue to go through here. Now that I'm talking, the air is going through my, into my mouth and down my throat. And so naturally my, I guess, throat is what I would say wants to cough because of the air. And right before I was looking at these new supplements that I just got, and I was thinking I should take one of those while I'm thinking about it. This is what I'm trying right now. I got this from the chiropractor, and it's called Neurogenics, and I'm trying different things. Chiropractic, can't say that word very good. Physical therapy, supplements, at-home stretches, and I am going to have to work really hard on a mindset to lose weight, because I have a pinched nerve, and the doctor was guessing it was like C6, C7, something like that. I don't remember. I don't really pay as close attention as I should. Hi, Tony. Welcome. And so he said I needed an MRI. And I said, well, can't I just get an x-ray? And he said, no, an x-ray won't show the nerve stuff. Is that what he said? It wouldn't show? Something like that. So I was like, okay, fine. I said, but if you're scheduled out, I said, I'm not going to be able to do it because we're leaving at the end of October. And he's like, oh, you know, blah, blah, blah. That shouldn't be a problem, I think is what he said. And sure enough, when they called to schedule me, they didn't want to schedule it until October 5th. And I was like, nope, that won't work. Because, yeah, we'll see an image, but there's no time to do anything by that point. So I'm not going to spend 45 minutes of my time amongst the gas to drive down to the VA and so on and so forth for something that's not going to be beneficial to me. Why bother? I'll probably have to pay for it too. Even though it's VA, I do have to pay for some things. So, and that's VA is based on your income level as well. My husband gets everything free because he's retired. Anyways, so I am taking matters into my own hands. I'm going to continue to go to the physical therapist. I stopped the chiropractor appointments because they may not be beneficial. In fact, they may be detrimentary. Did I say that word right? So we'll just take it one day at a time. This one is done. This one is done. This one is not done, but this one I just did is done. So I need a focal point here. I need a focal point here. This one is done. This one has barely been started. And this one has barely been started. So we can move these out of the way. And where am I at here? I had a piece of something. Where'd it go? Right here. I wanted to see what this would look like on here. This is really too shiny, basically fancy for the theme I've got going here, I think. Let me look one more time. Maybe not. Yeah, we'll go for it. I'm going to need to stop and get a drink of water. Okay, let's use glue stick for this to tack this down. And so now this one is to that point. I don't know what else I'm going to do with it. And because we've got so much cheesecloth, let's just go ahead and use some more cheesecloth. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to use some hemp fabric. But that's so solid it covers everything up. Nope, that wasn't a good idea. Little piece of a doily. Ooh, that might be cool. I hate to use these for ephemera though, because I really like to use these for journal covers. And until I have like 100 of these, I'm gonna feel like I don't have enough. So no, I'm not gonna use that piece right now. It is still in hoard mode. How about this? Something like that. Okay, yeah. And then maybe put this back here. So I hope everybody's doing well. Would love to hear what you're up to in the chat. What's on your desk? I think I like that. Just going to smooth that glue out just a little bit to try and make sure that it doesn't seep through the cloth. Hello, Tony. I did say hi to you once. Is my sound working? I'm always worried about that. Okay, now I'm going to stitch a little bit right here instead of glue. I'm working on my October challenge stuff and getting it ready. Very good. Are you keeping busy with that? I made the colossal mistake of not making sure that my thread was all the way in. Oh, it makes me so mad when I do that. Okay, I'm not going to spend time threading the needle while I'm on a video. So I'll do this. Okay, that's not. I want to do a stitch to make that solid down, so I'm just going to be careful with that for right now. This I'm done with for now. I have a place, again, I need thread for this. This is just part of a feather. And I thought it would be fun to like sew over it and let it just hang out. What happens if I color it? Because I don't really like all that white. Oh, goodness. It doesn't appear to take color. Okay, so that doesn't work. Hello, Lamont. Welcome. Okay, we'll just put that to the side for now. So we have, I hate when this power cord gets in my way. We have some stuff, a couple layers on bases here at this point. So here we have gesso and crypt paste, and we have cheesecloth, coffee dyed cheesecloth, and just some vintage fabric or lace here. And hi, April, welcome. And here we have some fabric and some cheesecloth. And then here we have some, I don't know, what do you call that? Fabric? I don't know. I don't even remember what it's from. It was just a scrap that I had. Okay. Now I have to come up with a focal point for all of these. So I like to do some variety. So far I've done like some botanical, and I've done a bird, and I've done a people, and I've done a flower. So more botanical. I do want to do a Tim Holtz people. I call it people because anything that has to do with a face or a body, I call that people because that's my categorization for that. Ooh, we could do a photo. That would look really cool. I really like the coloring of this photo with the coloring of this paper. And I like it here the best. So I will be doing some sewing on that after I get my needle threaded again. I absolutely hate, and I know hate is a strong word, but threading my needle for my sewing machine. Oh, my husband is calling. Just one moment, please. Hello, can you hear me? I don't think he's going to be able to hear me because I still have my... Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm just going to have to message him. I'm doing a video. Well, that didn't work. I'm doing a live. Oh, yes, please. He asked me what I want for lunch. Yes, please. Fried chicken from Albertsons, can't talk, and coleslaw from KFC. And he blew me a kiss and a thumbs up. So we're all good for lunch. Okay. Back to... Hi, Belinda. Welcome. Back to creativity. Okay, so I got distracted and didn't hold that down. Okay, I think that's going to be good. That one is temporarily done. I'm not putting that in the done pile because it needs sewed. What am I going to do here? First of all, I'm seeing in my mind's eye, I'm seeing a label. Or some kind of snippet. I just had yellow watermelon. Oh my gosh, guys, if you haven't had yellow watermelon before, you should try it. We saw it at Costco the other day, and I said, yeah, let's give that a try. And it is fantastic. I like that one better. Yellow watermelon is my thing now. Okay, I like something like that, but I want a little bit more contrast in color. Where I have some rust bits somewhere. I cannot speak today. I want a rust bit. So that means I need to go over here somewhere. Think, think, think. Where are your... Oh, change of plans. Sorry, change of plans. I just rabbit trailed. I thought a rusket would look good on there, but then I saw that and went, nope. It just clicked. I like it. I may still do a little rusket. Again, for this one, I want a strong and ample gluing for it to go through the layers. And I want to tilt it just a little bit. And I want to touch that just a tiny, tiny bit. All right, Tony, thanks for stopping in for a little bit. Have a great day. There's some translucent, what did I use? Crackle paste on here, I think. Something translucent. So when you go like this, you can see it. Okay, this one is almost done. Trying to remember where I put my rusty bits. Because you know that I put them somewhere where I can find them. Okay. I believe it's right here. Oh, so did I, April. At about the same time, my husband called about my lunch order. He's out and about, so he's just asking if I'd like him to stop at Albertsons and get some fried chicken. And then he goes to KFC, that's Kentucky Fried Chicken, in case you don't have that in your area, and get coleslaw, because I love the coleslaw at Kentucky Fried Chicken. So I'm looking for some rusty bits. That's my sewing ephemera. There's supposed to be some rusty bits in here. Thank goodness for the men in our life. April? I don't know if I'm going to want to use any of this or not. But what would I put on top of there? Okay, that's it. That's what I want. Right there. I probably should put these with die cuts, even though they're my rusty bits, because I'd probably find them sooner. I'm going to glue this on pretty solid, but then I'm going to sew over it later too after I get my sewing machine threaded. Thanks, April. And then, of course, we're going to have to do this. I thought at one point that, I know I did, actually. I could have sworn I rusted some of these, because I thought I had some, but it might be the smaller ones. Because I think I only had silver smaller ones. Reds, eyelets. Is there anything? Woo! No, I don't see. What is this? Just more of those. Thought I rusted some. That appears to just be paper clips that have been rusted. Whoa. Okay, give up. always pull on these after I snap them together to make sure that I snapped them correctly, because I would hate for all of this stuff to go flying all over my craft room. It's one of my fears that that's going to happen. Okay, so let's just use one of these. I made some little envelopes the other day, but this isn't the place for that, I don't think, because you really can't tell that's an envelope. I have to figure out, well, if you go like this, you can tell it's an envelope, actually. Huh. It's not bad. Needs something more, though, and I don't know what that would be at this point. But it's not bad. Think. Oh, I have a thought, but it's way over there. I dropped it on the floor the other day. Shoo. Can I get to it? I need my ruler. It'll help me. My ruler is my arm for things that fall on my floor and I can't get to. Okay, got it. So what I was thinking was taking this stamp and stamping on this. Okay. I'm going to do it. I'm going to pull the trigger. And this is kind of stiff because I have a little sort of letter inside of here. Right there. Ooh, I should ink that. I should do this. I've got a We Are Memory Keepers tab board coming in the mail today or tomorrow. I'm really getting into making tabs, and finally I decided, as much as I enjoy making them, that I'm better off getting the board than using, see if I have it handy. I use this a lot, but this is very complicated and very limiting, so I decided to spend the money and buy the board because it'll make me happy. My husband likes it when his wife is happy. And he never says anything about the money because I'm the money maker in the family. So, and I'm the budgeter. I'm the money maker and the budgeter. And I love to save, but I love to craft too. I have 50 million little savings spots. Not really, but I am a saver. I don't know that I can get my little envelope out of, or my little piece of paper out of there, but that's okay. I know it's in there. That makes me happy. Okay, I'm going to call that one done. You go to the done pile. This one needs to be sewed. This one needs a focal point. So we've got flower focal points, people focal points. We've got a bird focal point. What else do we have? Would a cluster be okay on this? I'm very doubtful, but I'm going to look. Hello, Passion and Art. How are you? I got to look at my notes. Do I have your real name, Passion? Passion, Passion, Passion. I don't. I don't have your real name. Can I get your real name? Passion for Art. Where's my pencil? Right in front of my face. I'm doing great, but I keep track of everybody's real name. I try to. So this is my my writing journal that I have on my desk, and Jessica. Hi, Jessica. Let me write that in here. Okay. I've been really enjoying what I did with this one. I've got like, oh my gosh, I've probably got 10 of these things or 6. And for this one, quit now. Go on there right. Okay, for this one, I really decorated up the cover and I decorated up the elastic. Do you remember Passion Stackin'? I don't. Did you change your name? Okay. We were looking in here. Without, no. No. Definitely not. No. No. I don't think so. This is a pocket. I like your new name a lot. No. Ooh. Definite maybe. Well, that's not bad either. I could maybe clip this to this. Maybe. Nope. No. I don't even like that because it's purple. I'm not a purple person. I'm not a purple fan. That's not bad. If I were to go like that, ooh, that's got potential. Then I think that this one would be too much, though. That is just really coming together for me. I think I'm just going to stop right there. So I'm going to take this and put that right there. I know, I'm weird. My husband's always trying to push pink off on me too. My newest gun that he bought me a pink one. He's been dying to get me a pink gun. He got it for me for my birthday. Hi, Scrap Craft and Stitchery. What is your real name, please? Welcome. Are you new or are you usually quiet? Which is fine, whatever. I hang out in April's balcony on her lives a lot. A lot. Sometimes I just don't feel like talking. Sometimes I'm like maybe on my iPad. I don't like talking on my iPad because I don't like texting, period. And talking on the iPad or typing whatever on the iPad is like texting. Mostly because of my familiar trimmers. It's just tiresome to do it. Oh, hi, Christina. Oh, honey, I always want a new gun. So, yeah. Now we got to go to the range. Really? Okay. I'll have to watch for you. Yeah, I was telling my daughter on the phone earlier that she needed to plan more family value type get togethers for her daughter because, life gets busy. And as a single parent, we get away from things. Oh, so we've got that in common, Jessica. And, anyways, I told her, you know, I just got that new gun for my birthday. I said, we should all go out to the range and take Madison with us. And I said, that would be a good family event. She's like, yeah. So Madison is, she just turned 12 or 13. Darn it, now I can't remember. But yeah, my children, we're from Idaho, so it's pretty common in my area that folks are not only armed, but their children grow up with a weapons culture mentality. And I was a combat arms specialist. Oh no, we can't let these tremors stop us from doing our crafting. Anyways, I was a combat arms specialist in the Air Force, so that was my job, was to teach people how to be safe with weapons and how to be accurate with weapons, i.e. center mass. Shoot for center mass. I'm kind of playing with that, and I'm kind of liking it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, oh, really cool. What part of Idaho are you in, Christina? I'm in Caldwell, so I'm about Idaho Falls. I'm about 3 hours from Idaho Falls. I'm about 2 hours from Twin Falls. And I got to think about it, because typically when the kids were younger, I was in the Boise area. And then when we went full-time RV, we started staying in places like Napa and now Caldwell, because there's not very many RV parks with availability in the Boise area. Okay, I'm just gonna, I kind of like that. I feel like it needs something more, but I'm not ready to pull the trigger on anything yet. Okay, I think that's where I'm gonna stop with cowboy ephemera, because I need to get my sewing machine threaded, which I'm not going to do while I'm on this video, because it'll take me too long. So the next thing I wanted to do, oh, you lived in Meridian. Oh, very cool. I have a daughter in Meridian, and I have a son in Emmett. And we were actually, one of my daughters who's in Payette, yep, I call mine familia, because they run through my family. So genetically inherited. Now I wanted to pull out my Marie journal. Mine is through my dad's side, so I didn't see it with my dad so much, the tremors, but my grandma, big time. So his mom, and my kids. I have 2 kids that are as shaky as I am, and they're, like, one is my youngest daughter, and she's about 30, and the other is my 3rd child, and it's a son. Okay, these are just some things that I made previously, and I have this pocket full of stuff, and this is my tall Junk Journal Madness Marie Antoinette journal. So it's a Junk Journal Madness collaboration, and the theme is Marie Antoinette. And so, yeah, I was started to say my youngest daughter was looking at some property to lease to own in Emmett, and she was looking for a place that had RV hookups, because then we could pay her rent instead of an RV park, and that would help her to pay her lease payment. But the the place that she was looking at did have RV hookups, but they were positioned in a place that had a roof awning type thing, and the way everything was built, there was no room for a trailer that had slides, so that wouldn't work for us. Yeah, I'm sure my children love that I passed this little gift on to them. So we've got a pocket here that needs something. Some of this is completed ephemera, like this one. That's a little too big for there. I've got more stuff back here. Hi, Carrie. Welcome. How's your Saturday going? That one hasn't been back yet. That would work. We'll put that right there. Now we need to back this because that would be good. Oh, well, it's got that on there, but still. All right, we'll just do that one like that. Oh, maybe it's a little too thick. Yeah, if I were to back it, it might go in there. But that thin piece of paper is not wanting to cooperate. My goodness. The chat's getting so busy, I'm having trouble staying up with it. That's unusual for my lives. I usually have, maybe the most would be 4 chatting. I need something thick. What have we got? Would that go in there? Yes. Really needs a tab though. I just built something with a tab. But this is going to be too thick. Okay, that doesn't work. Okay, Christine. This is interesting. No, I don't like that. That's no. No, no, no. I think it needs a tab. Do I have any scrap here? Yeah, that's scrap. Oh, wait a minute. I changed my mind. This is some of my Florentine paper from Italy. Not sure where I want that. Okay, I can have it right there. We'll do something to make that look a little more blend in or whatever. Yeah, oh, I thought that glue on it, but it didn't. Well, note to self, the glue doesn't come off if you have the cap on still. So I'm just going to wing it for placement. Oh, Carrie, are you still here? I hope you're still here. So, anyways, if you watch my videos, you know that I am not like an Etsy seller or that I necessarily have a shop as a business person or something like that, but I am a destasher. So I love making ephemera, as you can see. I mean, just in a very short time, I've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6 pieces of ephemera here. And then I've got all this that I've been making for this journal, which a lot of it is going to go into this journal. But my point is that I very easily end up with an overflow. And because I am a full-time RVer and I have a very limited amount of space to put my stuff, I tried to sell the overflow. I was just looking to the side of me to see if, well, like even in here, I mean, not all of this is, nah, this isn't a good example. This is various things. But anyways, my point is, very quickly, my point is that I recently found a Facebook group that is called Junk Journals No Rolls exclamation exclamation sell buy trade swap. One more time. That's actually, can I type that into the, let's see if I can type that into the chat. Carrie, I really think that this would be an excellent place to market your new kid kits. And please feel free to talk about it in the chat. Please feel free to post your stuff on my videos, like we're talking about it right now. So you might say, oh, when Teresa's done talking in her live uploads, I'm going to go back and I'm going to post in her comments that the additional information about the kid kits that I'm selling, and I don't mind that. Now, if somebody I didn't know started like spamming my YouTube channel, that would be different. But I often invite people to, any of you guys that I'm chatting with today, if you wanted to put your, hang on, I'm just seeing if I can post a link. I don't think I can, but, ooh, I can because this is my live. Okay, so that works. So anybody, oh, so that's how moderators do it, I'll bet. But anybody who wants to post a link, I know you can't make it like a link, but I mean, even just putting it, you can copy and paste it somewhere. So that's all I have for that because I kind of lost my train of thought. Okay, that actually fits very nicely right there. So I just have to make it strong. Okay, I know what I'm going to make it strong with. I'm going to use one of my educational cards to make this. Which one? Oh Lord, which one did I have in my, oh, right here. You are so welcome, Carrie. But, you know, I've been trying to sell my stash, and it's been a bit of a struggle. And my goal is to get a bunch of the stuff out of storage and just, you know, de-stash it, because all it's doing is sitting there. I don't even look at it because it's in my storage. So that group has been very, very good for me. And the thing is I found the sweet spot. And the sweet spot is making what I was calling, okay, I gotta back up so I can keep my train of thought. I was looking at my stuff one day, and see if I can crash and talk at the same time. And I had this pre-made ephemera journal. That's, it had a title on it, pre-made ephemera, and it was on my trolley with my pre-made ephemera. Okay, so I took that and I posted it to that group that I told you about. And oh my gosh, it was like sharks to fresh meat. I was just astounded, and the compliments and everything, everybody just loved the idea. Not everybody, but it was different than any reception I've ever had towards my stuff. That's going to cut where I don't want it to cut. So that was exciting. Anyways, the end of the story, at this point, the end of the story is that I have sold 6, 7, or 8. Well, I've sold 2 ephemera packs for $15 each. And it ends up being anywhere from 50 to 25 cents per piece of ephemera. And I've sold 3, 4, 5. I've sold about 6 ephemera books at $15 each. And if you just count the ephemera, it for the most part still works out to 50 to 25 cents per piece. And basically I'm throwing the journal in for free. But that doesn't bother me one bit because, like, how many of us have 50 million journals, even from way back when we just first started, and they just sit there on a shelf? Okay, like this was my junk journal July. Now, I showed this to people, and at first they were very receptive to this as an idea book, and I'm going to market it again and see what happens. But then I have things like this, and this sort of thing seems to be very popular. This one hasn't sold yet. But I showed this one, and it got some good comments, but this is a naked journal. So if I took this and I put some pockets in here, and I put about 40 to 50 pieces of ephemera in it, I'll bet it would sell, and it would probably sell for $15 or $20. I think I even sold one for $20. I would like to sell this one for 20 instead of 15 because this is a old book. But this sort of thing, this one almost sold, and it's got a ton. So I'm going to, it sells it slowed down, so I'm going to make some labels that say pre-made ephemera and put that on the front of the journal, and I'll bet that it's going to entice them again. It's a sweet spot, and I don't know what it is, but it seems to work, because I have marketed this stuff and really struggled to try and sell it. Sometimes I've sold the bags for $5 each plus shipping. I always do plus shipping because I'm already dirt cheap, so I don't want to give the stuff away. I'm going to catch up on the chat. Oh, okay. Yeah, you should give it a try. I am a huge Facebook. I market my everyday job on Facebook, and that's where I get all my business. And now I'm getting more sales with this group for my destashing. I've come close to selling one of my journals for about $40. I had it listed for 50, and somebody offered me 40, and I turned them down because I felt like it was one of my best journals, my Poppy Avenue journal. And since then I've had a couple people ask, which is more than usual in itself, but I should have sold it for 40. It's kind of hard to learn at first what your sweet spot is. I had one person who posted right away in that group. She was like, wow, you're only doing this amount of money for this? And she was like, I sell mine for $120 to $140. And I'm like, well, that's great that you can get that, but I can't get that kind of money. So, I'm not going to try. I don't want that glue. And it kind of like goes against my principle too. I really, at this point in my life, I don't want to be a seller. Maybe if I retire, I would like to. But at this point in my life, I'm basically trying to recoup a little bit of the money that I've spent and to bless somebody else with stuff that, especially those folks that are new to junk journaling. When I first started, oh my gosh, I would order things and I would like, okay, now I have glassine envelopes. but I have 250 of them. What am I going to do with 250 glassine envelopes? Okay, now I have these cute little decorative bags, but I have 100 of them. What am I going to do with 100 of them? You know, and then when you get all this stuff, then you end up with these bins. And trust me, this is not a real representation of my stash, because I'll take half of them and I'll put them in storage. So am I going to ever use all of this? I'll bet you not, because to tell you the truth, these envelopes right here are from my Stampin' Up! Days. And I bought these like 5-6 years ago and still haven't used all of them. So I'm a realist, and I don't need a whole lot of this and this and this, because I'm not going to use them. And if I do, then fine, I'll start over again with collecting or hoarding or whatever we call it at the time. I hope that all made sense. I had a dream about 2 years ago to put together, to take, you know, an envelope and even like these little binder clips that we use sometimes, and things like this. I have a whole big bag full of a bunch of different sizes for this, and I had a dream to take like a little Ziploc baggie and paper clips, and put it together, you know, a few of these and a few of these and a couple of these, and put it in that Ziploc baggie and sell it for $10 or something plus shipping. And then a new junk journaler who maybe is on a fixed income or doesn't just have a lot of disposable income could buy one of these junk journaling starter kits and be able to have a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And the fun thing is, like, then you have it for like when you're watching a video from somebody like, say, Louisa Heinzel or Joey DeFee or Rachel or Barbara with 49 Dragonflies. Then you have that stuff and you don't think, oh my gosh, I've got to go onto Amazon and I've got to buy some of those. And then you end up with 50 or 100 or 250 of them. And you're like, where the heck am I going to put all these? So you kind of just stash them away. Then when you go to do the actual project that you bought them for, you can't find them. Can anybody say amen to that? Because that was and still is sometimes my life. I'm getting better. But there's things that I have in my stash, like, let's see, crackle paste. Yes, this crackle paste translucent. I've had this for probably 3 or 4 months, and I bought it because of a Louisa Heinzel video, and I didn't use it until yesterday, and I still haven't used it for the video that I saw that I wanted to make the project that she made with this product. No, instead I used it for this card yesterday because I was like, I need to start using this stuff. I think I might be done preaching now. Okay, right now I'm putting lids on because I don't know what I'm going to do with glue next, and I don't know what I'm going to do with ink next. Hold still, Theresa. But I am having a lot of fun now because I am finding my stuff a lot easier. And sometimes it's worth that investment to buy a container, a storage container that works. You know, it may be $20 or $30, whatever. But the point is that then I'm going to start using this hundreds of dollars worth of crap that I bought over the years because I know where it's at. And that's where I'm at right now. It's about time to do another craft room video, but I have to sucker my husband into it so he'll hold the camera, because I don't like my videos when I'm holding the camera and it's shaking all over the place. I think I'm just going to use that for the backing. My crafting was interrupted there. I had a strong mojo going last weekend and that sort of thing. And then some horrific things happened in the world recently. You know, the remembrance of 9/11 is a terrible memory, but America overcame. I feel that America has made a lot of progress in what I want to say, in regards to the fight on terrorism from overseas. Now it has to be fought against domestic terrorism, but just, you know, the horrific things that have happened in the last 3 or 4 days, starting with the gal from the Ukrainian refugee. Ooh, I can't say that word very good. Only about 23 years old, I believe. And she was senselessly killed by an evil person that should not have been left out of jail. That wasn't very good English. And that was very sad to me. And then an evil person had to kill Charlie Kirk, and that was extremely sad to me because I've watched his programs a lot. So even though I didn't know the person, I felt more knowledgeable about the person, and I appreciate all the good that he's done in the world. It's been amazing to read the different posts on social media from people, and a lot of people that are my age even, and younger, that appreciated him for what he's done in their lives. So it took me a few days to feel like crafting again. That happened, what was it, last year, when there was, starting with the fires in Hawaii and all that senselessness. I felt like there was some extreme irresponsibility, possibly some evil in the world that contributed to that. And then, you know, we had all the heartache in North Carolina from the hurricane. So I was busy watching that all the time and didn't craft because I was watching what was going on with that. But yep, things happen. Real proud of Idaho, though. The things that I've seen on social media. I posted on my my personal Facebook group post, this one meme or something that there was, and it showed on the top the violence for when George Floyd was murdered, killed, whatever, and the violence for it. And then on the bottom, it showed how people reacted after Charlie Kirk's murder. And it was people praying and tributes and candlelight vigils and things like that. Nobody was stealing other people's property. Nobody, well, that I've seen, nobody's gone in and stole other people's property or hurt other people's property or, been disrespectful to business owners and stuff who have nothing to do with their cause or their anger. Okay, I think that might be thick enough. Let's see. Yeah, most of the folks that I follow on social media and on YouTube do not get political in their on their channel or on their platform. I do. And not saying that other people should do what I do. I just do what I do. Just like with junk journaling. You do what you do. There are no rules in junk journaling. This is supposed to be, I think, like a farmhouse that Marie Antoinette lived in when she was younger. And that's what I love about doing themed journals, is the history of it. I mean, like if you're doing a Barbie themed journal like Carrie, I wouldn't say that is focused on history. I'd say that that's focused on fun. But, there is a history for Barbies. And when you look at the older Barbies and the marketing and everything, and the newer Barbies and everything, I mean, and of course, if you get vintage Barbie stuff, it's cool. It's going to have foxing or I don't know, Carrie. I can't think of what really trips your trigger when you're looking at your Barbie ephemera, but yeah. So there's history and everything, but Victorian history and Edwardian history and, let's see, French Revolution time. Those kind of things are the things that I looked at when I was in college and getting my history major. So they're of intense interest to me. And my husband is a history buff too, so we love talking about this kind of thing. Okay, that one, I think I am going around the corners though, because it did want to catch a little bit. So sometimes when you round the corners, I like that. Carrie says, you do you, boo. That's my rule. Carrie's got some really cool sayings that she has. She has a very spunky and energetic way of talking to people on her YouTube channel. Uh-oh. And of course, if you want a little southern, you're going to want to watch Carrie, and you're going to want to watch April too. April's especially entertaining to watch when she's got a snake in her craft room. You may want to go look at some of her past live videos sometime after she started the 100-day challenge, right about maybe in the middle. She had a visitor in her craft room, and it was extremely entertaining to her, not to her detriment, but she wasn't entertained, shall we say. His name was Earl. But yeah, we've got some really fun people that have some very entertaining channels, and so you guys go ahead and you post your links. I'm in thinking mode. Yeah, when she first started doing her late night lives, Carrie, I was watching pretty religiously, and then all of a sudden I was like, I'm not spending any time with my husband before he falls asleep, and I need some wind down time, or I'm just too plain tired to even talk to anybody or even to register what's being talked about. So I do catch them. I do catch most of the replays. More often I catch replays. I had a tough time figuring out how I wanted to say that. This would go in here, and then I'll kind of hang out in the balcony a lot too, because I don't want to type. What do I want to use for backing here? If I do it now that you gave it to me, ooh, did it work? No. Oh wait, well, maybe it's just me because it's mine. Oh, that's how you add people as a moderator. Huh? Carrie, I'm just going to add you as a moderator just because I want to experiment. What does it say? Can manage locked words and change, can review and remove and hide. Oh, I'm just going to press one, because I know you won't do anything weird. So now I'm managing moderator for your channel. And does it stay like that, Carrie? Or does it go away until the next time you visit my channel? I need to learn these things. Okay, for this one, I'm going to take this and I'm going to glue that there. Ooh, look, you're blue now, Carrie. I trust you, Carrie. You know, that's how I learned how to do computers, is I wasn't afraid to click. I wasn't afraid to point and click. And I just kind of held my breath to see if everything blew up. Oh, well, if you're here and you see a bad word and you want to kick somebody out, you're more than welcome to do that. I think you know what my parameters are. I'm not like Louisa Heinzel. I prefer no F-bombs being dropped on my channel. But I laugh my bottom off when she does it. So I'm not a prude. Actually, I am a prude to some degree. I don't believe in people talking about their private life when they're in a chat. You're amongst a bunch of strangers that you don't know whether they want to hear about your private life or don't want to hear about your private life. So I am a prude in that respect. But you get me in the right mood, especially an angry one. I can tend to have a bit of a cellar mouth. And I personally don't feel that I don't feel that is bad for me to admit that when I profess myself to be a Christian, because it's the truth. And I'd rather be a truthful cussing Christian than a lying cussing Christian. And you know, the less I cuss, the better of a person I think I am too. But I'm more likely to call Christians leaving church that cut people off and drive like idiots, hypocrites, than somebody that just walked out of church and lights up a cigarette. That's you know, I'm overweight, so who am I to point fingers? The other day, I was watching that interview between April and Hazel, and I thought, at some point, it would be fun for somebody like me to reach out to Hazel and ask her if I can interview her, because she's the interviewer. Who's going to interview her? The funny thing is, April, I pictured you. I mean, I've seen some of your pictures that, because you have like a slideshow. And one picture is of you against a tree, and your hair is like shoulder length, I think. And I'm trying to think of what the color is. It's a very subtle, I don't know, it's like reddish brown in the picture. I don't remember really. But then I think I've caught other glimpses of you, maybe in another photo or something, from your you're like your introductory part of your channel when you start videos, and you've got your music and stuff. I feel like I've seen more than one picture of you. And when I saw you on the interview, I was like, that is not what I expected, because I'd seen those pictures. And yeah, we see your hair kind of fall down a little bit when you're kneeling, when you got your head down to do something, when you're crafting. So I think that I did see something that looked like curls or ringlets or something. Yeah, we should interview her, April, and put together some questions, because I was surprised when she said she was a farm girl. And I'm like, okay, what part of my psyche? Has there ever been some blonde or red tones to your hair, April? I'm getting like whitish gray, dark blonde in my old age. I think I'm about 10 years older than most of you. Carrie might be a little bit younger. I don't think so, though. Carrie, have you ever been interviewed? It needs something more, but I'm just going to do that for now. That's got something there. Okay, I thought so, April. I think I'm just going to leave that like that for now. Oh, brother. Sometimes backings are my big struggle. Let's see what I've got in here to back with. Let's use some of that. Okay, so I did see some red hints. I thought so. Yay for gray. Hey, April, I haven't seen Bonnie for quite a while. Is she okay? I was on your live a couple of nights ago and I didn't talk, but I was scrolling through the chat looking for her. You're 53. So, yeah, I've got a good 10 years on you. I would love to be 53 again. Because one thing, I was a little bit thinner. So I'm not afraid to talk about my looks or my size or my thoughts and ideas and convictions or none of that. I so get that, April. Yeah. Like some days I'll go, oh, I just want to kick that person's butt because they're being mean to somebody. And then I'll go, wait a minute, Theresa. You're too old to kick anybody's butt, even a grandkid. What was I about to say? Oh, I said I wasn't afraid. Okay, so I was at the chiropractor's the other day, and I don't know. Oh, I was talking about this pinched nerve problem that I've got, and voicing some of my frustration with about the primary caregiver doctor, and in the VA, I don't know if it's everywhere, but their extreme ability to not listen to you. And they ask you all these questions, and then they type like they're putting it in the computer and everything, but then they have to ask you all the questions all over again, or they miss stuff, or whatever the case may be. And I was talking to him, and I was saying, yeah, one of the things that I'm trying to get convicted about, I am convicted about it, but I need to, like, get my mojo going for losing weight. I've got mojo for crafting. I need to get my mojo going for crafting. Hello, not your mom. So, what is your real name? Hey, not your mom. So I was telling him that I recognize that I'm obese and that I believe that um, trying to lose weight would be helpful with my battle to fight this pinched nerve business. And I said, yeah, I went to the doctor to talk to him about, getting imaging for my neck. And I said, so I got weighed again, of course. And I said, I still weigh more than my husband. I said, wives should not weigh more than their husbands. Hi, Buffy. I said, I'm, I was 247 and my husband is 245. I said, I guess I could ask my husband to gain more weight so I wouldn't weigh more than him. But ideally, I'd like to lose weight instead. Sorry, guys, having troubles holding still here for a minute. It's the way I'm holding my arm. It's kind of exasperating it. I cannot say that word. It's probably a good reason, good thing that I'm not a nurse, because I know you nurses say that word all the time. You're exasperating. Can't say it. Your illness, your injury. I gotta write your name down so I don't forget if you visit me again, because I like to remember people, but I have no memory cells, or very little. It's been a pretty good chat. People are talking amongst themselves, and I love to see that. I've been here for almost 2 hours, but I do that. I like to turn the camera on and craft. And when I'm done, I'll say, I'm done. Goodbye. See you later. If you're watching this in the replay, feel free to scroll ahead and don't listen to me mumble along. Okay, let me get my book so I can write your name down. Where are you from, Buffy? April, is your cat walking on your keyboard? I'd say, do you have a little kid there? But I know you don't usually have little kids there. Okay, that's going to go there. That's there. That sounds like fun. Have a good day, Carrie. Thanks for popping in. Those are going to go there. Oops, we got a tuck spot here. This goes on the side somewhere. That's got something there. That's got something there. That can go there. That purple blends in good with that. Oh, there's something there. Oh, now I gotta look back at it. Oh, cool. Man, I missed some chat. I was born in Ohio, and so I'm in Idaho now. Um, exacerbation. 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 I always want to put an R in there. Those are in there, and that's a pocket. So I did want to grab this here. And what am I going to put on the back? Do I want to put that on there? No. No. That would be fun. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I was going to put that somewhere. Are you a nurse, Buffy? April, did you answer me about Bonnie and I missed it? About whether she's doing okay or not? Well, that sounds like rewarding work. Any work helping people is exacerbation together. Oh, okay. Exacerbation. 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 Wow. I have a bit of a speech impediment, so that is a challenge for me. Oh, okay. Well, Lord Jesus, be with Bonnie and help her through the trials that she's going through right now and the people that she's working with, and let it all come together through your will. In Jesus' name, amen. Well, if you happen to think about it when you're talking to her next, um, please tell her I was thinking about her. Okay, there's that one. So this is going to go back in here. I'll probably put a tab on that one too. I don't know if anything will stay under there. Kind of will. Let's see if I don't think I have anything else made up. I do that. I made these digitals myself with Canva. I don't know what that piece was for, and it's not. That doesn't belong here. Okay, so I could put that there. It's kind of big. Let's trim it. Okay, so before I go today, let's have a count off of those of you who have channels. So, like, type your channel name or link, even though it won't link automatically. Okay, I'm going to go back this way, and I think I'm going to put that there. Yep, I'm going to put that there. Put that there. I'm not gluing it all the way down because sometimes I like to stick things like little labels and stuff underneath tabs. So I'm just like tacking it down for temporary. And then I've got one more I want to place, and that is this one. If there's room. Definitely not there. Nope, too long for there. I could make it shorter. I think I want to do that. I think I'll wait till I get my tab maker, and I'll make this one shorter and put it right up there and there. So I'm going to take a paper clip paper clip that there so I remember. And then I'm going to take things like this, and I'm going to take some background paper. And I'm just going to do this kind of like a photo album. That's what I'm thinking. Just looking around. What I want is mulberry paper. I don't always worry about gluing the complete piece down when I'm planning things, because that gives me some wiggle room to change things around if I decide that's what I want to do. Ooh, change my mind. I want to use the pinking shears. That's the way I craft too, Buffy. So I may do more with that, but I'm headed towards. Usually, I do a lot of mixed media too. Um, I mean, like this one has the rusty color and then the texture paste on it, but this one is like a historical journal, and I've already, what I want to say, gone out there quite a bit because I've tried new things. I've gone in a different direction. This is the first time I've made my own digital. Okay, I've got some more pictures I want to try and place. Kind of like a photo album. Let's try those. Okay. So let's do that one there with cicada paper. It's kind of like I'm matting these. And then, of course, I can't strive for perfection with my shakiness, so junk journaling is perfect for me. I just get messy. Okay, I think that's enough for today. I did have another thing that I was going to do, but I still have lunch waiting for me. So I think I'll go ahead and wrap this up. I will talk about the other thing I was going to do. And I really did get that out farther than what I like, but fortunately it's not going to impede my closure. So I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. I'm just going to talk about the other thing I was going to do real quick. After I cover everything up. I have to put things away so I can find my glue lid. There it is. Okay. So I have these pieces of packing paper, Amazon packing paper, that I am turning into pouches. So this is a big pouch, like this, and it's nothing accordion on the inside, just a pouch. Now this would be too big for a journal, so what I was thinking is that it could be used to hold ephemera, or I could take it and I could cut it in half and then it would fit in a journal. But this would fit on April's, but what's the name of your big journal? Big Bubba Tina? Anyways, I'll bet this would fit in April's journal that she's working on. So then I have just a couple pieces ready. What was I going to do with this? This was going to be like this, and that's like that. That's nothing. And then I have these pieces of very old Italian ledger, nice thick weight, and I was going to use these pieces to decorate. And then I was going to cut this one in half and do more with this. Big Bertha. Yeah, would this fit in your Big Bertha? It's so I can't see the numbers. It's 12 inches by about 5.5. It's big. Oh, the little sister is Bubba Tina. You guys got to watch April's videos because she has some very interesting stuff going on. So I'm working on those, and I'm going to go ahead and get some lunch, and then I'm going to fight with my sewing machine to get it threaded because the shaky hands do not like to they don't like to thread sewing machines. Okay, hope you guys have a great Saturday, the rest of it. What time is it? 3:27. So you've got some time left, unless you're where April is, which is 2 hours later than me. So, yep. Okay, take care, and I will talk to you